Hello and welcome to the PhoneBurner training. This is the Don't Be Complicated training series. My name is Jeff Osnes. I will be the host here for this call. If you want to reach out to me, you can send me an email to jeff@phoneburner.com. And today's topic, we're going to talk about dispositions. Okay, so to edit or update or create dispositions, first we need to go to the Dial Sessions tab. Then we're going to click on the PhoneBurner Settings button. And here we're going to click on the Dispositions link. When we click on this, we'll be taken to the Dispositions page. And there's actually two sections to the Dispositions page. There's the dialing set. That's the group of buttons that you would see on the screen while the phone is dialing. The Disposition Sets represent the buttons that you would see after a live answer. So these would be things like interested or not interested. Now keep in mind, you've only got one dialing set. At this time you can only have one dialing set, but you can create multiple disposition sets. And then at the start of each dialing session, you can choose the disposition set you want to use for that session. If you want to add buttons to your dialing set, you click on the Add New Disposition button here. It'll bring up the Add Dialing button. Here you can add the text that would be visible on the screen. Once again, this is in the dialing set, so you're going to come up with potential outcomes of a non-live answer. So this, we've already got leave voicemail, no answer, busy signal, things like that already created, but other things that might come on that you might want to have is just move on or something like that. And then you might want to make this one a no answer disposition. So the disposition is kind of like the status that PhoneBurner will set the contact to. The note, this is the note that PhoneBurner is going to add to the contact's details when this button is clicked. So you might want to do something like, got tired of listening to it ring, so we moved on. Follow-up message. So the system can send out a specific email when you click this button. You can click on the drop-down menu here and it'll show you a list of all of the follow-up emails that you've created in your message library. You can also have the system move the contact from one folder to another. So it'll take the contact from whatever folder it's in when you start the dial session and move it to a specific folder based off the button that you click on. Next action. Now this particular option only comes into effect if your contacts have more than one phone number. If all of your contacts have one phone number, then this action, this option here, really doesn't have any relevance because it's not going to ask you if you want to call the next number on that contact or the next contact, because the only option is to call the next contact. So it'll just do that. However, if your contacts have multiple phone numbers, the system wants to know from you, what should it do? Should it just call the next contact right away? Should it call the next number within this contact record? Or do you want the system to ask you before it moves on to either one of those, so you can either choose to call the next number or to move on to the next contact? And then the last two, do not call and delete contact. Do not call, if you have this set to yes, will add that contact's phone number to your account's do not call list. The delete contact is an obvious one. It will just delete the contact record from your contact manager. Once you're done creating the button, you just hit the save, and that'll add the button to your list of buttons. You can then move the button up or down within the list of buttons. You can come back in and edit any of your existing buttons, so you can change the text, the disposition, the note, so you can come in here and update any aspect of that button at any time. You can also delete buttons. Now there's certain buttons that you can't delete, like the busy signal, no answer, and leave voicemail. Those are hard-coded in. You can't get rid of those buttons, and they are positioned where they are, and you can't rearrange those at this time. So that's the dialing set. Let's talk about disposition sets now. Disposition sets, if we look down here at the bottom, once again, these are for outcomes after a live answer. So you may have different things, different types of contacts that you call, or different groups of contacts that you call. And so you want to have different potential outcomes or different button groups after a live answer. There's always going to be a default disposition set in your account. In some cases you may be able to edit it, but most cases you won't. So if you're an enterprise level account, you'll be able to edit the disposition set. But if you're just an individual user, you won't be able to edit it. You'll just need to make a copy of it. And when you click on the copy this disposition set, it'll automatically copy all of the buttons that are part of that disposition set, and then you can give it a name. You can decide if it's going to be active or if it's going to be the default, and then you save that. And then you can go in here and edit any of the buttons. Just like we did in the dialing set, you can do the same thing here, only every button is editable, deletable. You can rearrange every one of these buttons either up or down. You can add additional dispositions, just like we did in the dialing set. Same options. Now if we go back to our dispositions page, we'll see our dialing set is still the same, but we now have a new disposition set. This is my new set, the one that I just created is right here. And if I need to come back in and edit that one, I can always click on that to edit it, and I can add more buttons, take away buttons at any time. If you need to delete a set, you can delete a set. If you're an admin, then you can also share that set with your group, with your other users. So once you've created all your disposition sets and you've updated your dialing set, the way you use it is when you go to the contacts and you select some contacts to call at the start of the dial session. You're going to see an option to select any one of your disposition sets that you've created. And that's how you create and edit dispositions. Once again, PhoneBurner pricing, we have 2 account levels. We have our 7.5 hour and our unlimited. The 7.5 hour is $67.50 a month and includes 450 minutes of usage. The unlimited is $149 a month, so you can use it all day long. If you don't have a PhoneBurner account, you should get a PhoneBurner account today, and happy dialing.